It is time for another episode of the UWF Football Show. I'm Will Kennedy. This is UWF head football coach Kaleb Nobles. We're coming to you after a trip over to Tallahassee, Florida. Tough night for the Argos. First loss of the season, 31-10. We'll get that out of the way to get things started. Let's talk a little bit about going over there and getting the chance to play an FCS opponent, moving up to that division, and kind of the atmosphere of playing over there in Bragg Stadium and what that was like. I mean, it was something else.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Our guys really relished that opportunity. A lot of guys being from Florida being able to play in-state FCS, and they got a great program, great team. Coach Simmons has done a great job, and it's good to talk to him before and after the game. They got a great program, great team, and a lot of really good players on that roster. And our guys had a great feeling going into it. They were excited about playing there, and it was a really good atmosphere. Everything we expected plus something.
They were coming off, of course, losing to South Florida the week before. Played Jackson State in week one, and first home game for them. Let's get into those first half highlights. I mean, you guys came to play. You talked about we're not coming over just to show up. We're here to compete. And that first half was as competitive as I've seen in a long time. 3-3 would be the final score at the end of the first half. It was a defensive showdown.
No, it was. And we kind of expected them to make some plays on defense, and they got a really good defense starting up front and with the D-line and a lot of guys that can rotate in. And we felt we could play with them on our defensive side as well. And being able to create some movement, get after the quarterback, who's a great player. And we felt like it was going to be a heavyweight title bout, and somebody was going to have to take some punches. And we stood our ground in the first half. Was excited about how we played. Obviously, we got to finish better.
Your front four especially was able to get some pressure on Jeremy Musa, their quarterback, in the first half, and they were never really able to get comfortable. And they've got three big running backs. You controlled their running game. I looked at the halftime stats. I was like, that's a solid defensive performance no matter who they play.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, those running backs are massive. You see them on film, and they're like, all right, they're pretty good players. And you see them in person, it's like, all right, this is different. But Musa, is a great player, and we felt like we were able to get him out of rhythm a little bit by creating some movement up front. And so I was excited again how the D-line played, and obviously we got to keep getting better and improving. But I like where our defensive line's at right now.
The scoreless came into that second quarter, and they got a short field opportunity. They would end up getting the ball first and goal to go from the 9. Mm-hmm. And our defense was able to stand up to that, hold them to a field goal. That was a really nice stand.
No, I was excited about how our back was against the wall right there, and to only give up a field goal is obviously huge. Excited about how those guys handled that situation we've repped and practiced and talked about, and excited about how they handled it. That's some adversity right there, and you got to be able to punch adversity when it comes to you. So excited about how they handled it.
And then to be able to answer right away. So they kick the field goal, kickoff comes our way, great return. C.J. Wilson takes it up the sideline, over to our sideline, out near midfield, and gives you a short field to work with. And the offense is able to get something going and get down there and get Griff Sarah his first chance this year.
Of course, no, and we talk all the time, there's 5 or 6 plays to change the game, and those plays might be a special teams play. And that return, we had a couple of returns that were big, obviously to start the game when we get a penalty. But then, that one by C.J. was huge, and it helps us offensively. Anytime you got a short field, you're much better in shape to go, create some good plays. So we missed one throw that I felt like would have changed and been able to give us a touchdown. And but other than that, I was excited about us getting a field goal and getting some points in that.
A little bit of back and forth before the half. You go to the halftime locker room tied 3-3. How were you feeling?
Yeah, I felt great. I felt like exactly what I thought I was going to feel like going into halftime. And our guys were excited. Our locker room was amped up at halftime. We get some adjustments and things like that. And I thought our guys handled it well. We were right there with them. We're ready to go, and our guys knew this is it's not a good little D2 team coming over. We're ready to play, and I think they were a little stunned at first, and then they obviously both sides made some adjustments at halftime.
A lot of fireworks left to come in the second half of this one. We'll take a break and come back with second half highlights here on the UWF Football Show.
Why do you love your favorite pair of jeans? What keeps you connected to your oldest friends? How do you know that the solution you seek is right for you? The answer is simple. It's the fit. And at Penn Air Credit Union, we believe your finances should fit you perfectly. It's the right checking account for how you spend your time and money. It's the right loan for where you are and where you're headed next. It's local banking that's as comfortable as your favorite pair of jeans. So come join us at Penn Air Credit Union. You'll fit right in.
Can health insurance help cure loneliness? Can it take care of your best friend too? Or hold your hand for 9 months? Can it be there for you at 3 a.m.? Or inspire you to go the extra mile? We think so, which is why every day we ask ourselves, what else can health insurance do? Come find out.
Welcome back into the UWF football show here with Coach Kaleb Nobles talking about the matchup over at Florida A&M. 3-3 was the score at the half, and you mentioned both coaches got to go in the locker room and come up with some adjustments, and it really was a struggle offensively to throw the football in the first half. I mean, the stats just didn't look like the stats we're used to seeing.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they got a good defensive front. They got a good secondary that could help that defense line get some more pressure back there. So there were some adjustments we needed to make and we tried to make, and but that's a good team over there, and we got a lot to work on. We got to get better in the pass game overall, and pass protection overall has got to be a staple of that.
They got the ball coming out second half as we dive into the highlights, and they were able to get their offense kind of cranking. It was Jeremy Musa, and this is a graduate transfer quarterback, played at Yandy, and here is a Florida A&M. He's kind of finding some stuff in the middle of the field, led to that first touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt. He had a little more time than we were hoping he would get. Be able to find those receivers. They got some slippery receivers that can run routes at a high level. You give him time, he's going to be able to pick you apart if you want to get after him. So, things we got to work on, but just give him in a groove and he's going to be able to make plays like that.
They were able to turn you guys over offensively, get a nice punt return, sets up a short field, and all of a sudden they got 2 touchdowns on the board, and it's 17-3.
Yeah, of course. It was 2 quick touchdowns. Their first 2 drives after the half, and that's something that we got to improve on and be able to come out of halftime ready to go a little faster. And just be able to be ready to play, man. Those guys came out ready to play, and we got punched, and we got to be able to handle adversity better moving forward.
Rattlers have put another touchdown on the board, so all of a sudden, they've jumped on top 24-3, and you need to get something going here, and you're able to do that. It gets the offense cranking. You're taking some deep shots. Pass interference helps out the offense, ends up with Caden Leggett catching a nice one and doing some work to get the ball into the end zone, and keeping the game right there.
Yeah, of course. We knew the game was not over just because 17-3 or 24-3. We knew we still got some momentum. We got some things that are working on offense we're trying to exploit. And they were playing off of us a good bit, so we started trying to take some quick game stuff and get into a rhythm with Pee Wee. And, we score, go make it 24-10, and then we're feeling, okay, we got a shot, and then we just got to keep finishing better.
They came right back, though, and I think what puts the game away is Jennings, one of the big running backs we mentioned earlier, gets loose on the sideline, runs it in for a touchdown. You guys keep fighting all the way to the end. Ran a fake punt, thought we had lost our punt. Yeah, took a heck of a hit, but hey, kudos to Logan Gregory for putting his head down and trying to pick it up.
No doubt.
And he would come back in the game and punt later. Special teams-wise, we mentioned the return between Logan and Griff Sarah, 43 yards of punt. And they did a heck of a job.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what we thought was going to happen. Logan's a great player, did a great job at his former place, and we know he's a really good punter. And hopefully, I don't see him that much. I don't want him to be on the field that much. I mean,
those are the last punts. Then we'll take those.
Yeah, I would love to. I don't want to see Logan on the field ever. So, very excited about how he's playing. He's everything that we thought he was going to be coming in.
31-10 was the final. Game effort, obviously. Need a little more offense just to keep it there and make it more competitive in the second half, but lots to work on coming out of it. We are going to talk about the next opponent. It is Gulf South Conference schedule time. West Georgia's coming in here finally back at Penn Air Field this week, and we'll also talk with our defensive coordinator, get to know Cavell Connor a little bit next on the UWF Football Show.
For those who sweat in determined pursuit, and those who meet the morning with a firm handshake and a smile, and breathe between stages of unwavering effort. Andrews Institute, for those who move.
This is not a restaurant. This is slow smoking that stirs your soul. The stuff that makes going out feel like coming home. This is not a restaurant. It's a barbecue. 50 years in the making. Come fill up on all your favorites. Sonny's Barbecue. Come taste tradition.
It's the UWF Football Florida Lottery Family Weekend. The Argos host West Georgia Saturday, September 23rd. Tailgating starts at 2, kickoff is set for 6. Come out early for the Argo Walk and the performance by the band. Tickets can be purchased online at goargos.com.
Welcome back in. Final segment here of the UWF Football Show. We're with Coach Kaleb Nobles, and we're back home this week. We'll be on Penn Air Field. It's Family Weekend. It's sponsored by the Florida Lottery. 6 o'clock kick, West Georgia. Who's moving up to Division I? They'll be coming in. First Gulf South Conference game, which is always huge. And every game is important, but they take on a little extra meaning, and especially when the Wolves are coming in.
No doubt. It's been you look at the history of the battles between UWF and West Georgia, and it's been some great battles all the way back to 2016, 2017. Playing them multiple times, it's a tough game. They're obviously always well coached, and got some great talented guys that can really go play on both sides of the ball. And so we got to bring our A game. You start getting this conference Bill South, everybody's good. You better be ready to play every single week because everybody can beat you. So that starts this week at West Georgia.
West Georgia's coming off a win. They've already got a Gulf South Conference game under their belt. Mississippi College, a battle on Saturday night, 38-35 was the final. They beat Limestone to open the season. They lost to Texas A&M Kingsville, good program, one of those Texas schools. And so they'll come in 2-1. But, every year they're expecting, just like we are, to be in the Gulf South Conference. What do you see from the Wolves in the early scouting?
Yeah, they got some athletes on offense that can really play, especially quarterback, running back, and wide receivers. They always do. They always got great players. O-line is big. They can move. They're physical. On defense side of the ball, they got some good quick D linemen, twitchy guys, some secondary guys, kind of been some transition, some shuffles, kind of moving around. And so we're kind of honing in on who's playing, who's not playing. And linebackers are great players.
When your two top leading tacklers are your linebackers, your defense is working well.
Of course.
They're going to look to run the ball more than throw it. At least that's what the stats kind of imply.
Yeah, no, it'll be kind of 50-50, kind of hit or miss. Kind of the first couple weeks, or first 2 weeks, they were trying to air it out a little bit. And they kind of ran the ball a little bit more yesterday. Part of that is you're playing Mississippi College or Triple Ops, trying to slow the game down a little bit and keep your defense off the field. So it'll be kind of a game plan thing. They got a couple good quarterbacks that can really play, and guys that we got to try and get out of rhythm early.
And that'd be the defense that's looking to knock that offense around with the Wolves a little bit. And you got a new defense coordinator. We've talked a lot about him and the philosophy, but let's sit down. Got to play in the NFL. You got to know up at Clemson, our DC, Coach Cavell Connor.
First and foremost, for me as a player and as a coach, I want to bring toughness. I believe it's a physical game. Like, you got to have some dog, some nasty to you. So I love to bring toughness to the game, and I look forward to bringing some toughness to the staff.
Get to the ball, no low. Get to the ball. Run. Hey, compete, guys, compete.
It was truly a blessing talking with Coach Nobles and him asking me to be a part of such a great, outstanding university. I was so humbled at the opportunity to come in and just be able to contribute to the maturation and the development of these guys. Football as a game teaches you so much about life anyway, but just being in the league, and you just learn the business side of things, right? It's such a professional environment. You learn how to behave and conduct yourself in the highest manner and still be able to execute and do your job at the highest level. I can give them a real life perspective on it. I've been there, I've done that. I understand that everybody aspires to play at that level, and I understand what it looks like and what it takes to get there. So I feel like I have a lot of knowledge, life experience that I can give these guys and help them try to fulfill their dreams. I've played with some great players. I was fortunate enough to come into the Colts organization with head Peyton Manning, Dwight Freeney, Dallas Clark, Jeff Saturday, Antoine Bethea, Gary Brackett, Kelvin Hayden, all of these guys, right? But the best guy that I've played with, honestly, I would have to say is Robert Mathis. He's a total dog, first of all, a great guy, a great leader, and just a great teammate. So I would have to say it's Robert Mathis. This is a high-performance business right here, so we love it and we thrive in it. So we love playing under that pressure and embracing all the challenges that come with it, and we look forward to meeting and exceeding all of those goals as well.
Coach, he brings the energy.
He does. He really does.
Coach Connor, and demands a lot, but also he's been there and he's done that and he's showing the guys the way.
No, he's got a great reputation, and there's a reason why I wanted to bring him here. I've known him for the last couple of years, known him for a long time actually, and so now I get a chance to have him on staff with us. He does a great job of bringing the juice every day, but also showing them, hey man, this is the standard. This is what it looks like to play great on defense, and having a reputation and the credibility playing in the NFL, playing it in D1, helps out a lot.
No doubt about it. So here it comes, West Georgia right here. It's a home game, second one of the season, 6 o'clock kick. Tailgating starts several hours before. You guys are doing the Argo Walk now. It was cool to do that, the first game of the season. So add that back in, a band performance. We'll be back here and, looking to build those traditions. And it's family weekend, so, bring the family on out. Tickets still available at goargos.com. And we'll be back next week to talk about the West Georgia matchup. Always, you can follow these guys on social media platforms, UWF Football. Add that Argo Armada app. Do all that stuff for us. We'll see you next time on the UWF Football Show. Go Argos.